Greetings, everyone out in the Diocese of Las Vegas. My name is Ruth Pei Palaleo, and I'm with Mary's Visitation Prayer Group, and this is our second visitation video. I'm your host for these visitation videos, which we hold where we virtually and hopefully soon in person visit some of the ministries that are available for you to join in the Las Vegas Valley. And today I'm very excited. I am here with Jose and Teresita Acierto, who are president and social coordinator, respectively, of the St Vincent de Paul chapter, council, chapter or council. I'm learning about St Vincent de Paul Society as we go along this video today, of the St Vincent de Paul chapter here in Las Vegas. It is based at St Joseph Husband of Mary Parish, and we'll get a little bit more into that now, but I wanted to just briefly introduce Jose and Teresita. They have been married. It'll be 41 years this year. And because Jose was military, they actually lived all over the world, including Germany, Korea, the Philippines, and many different cities in the United States. They raised their 3 boys. 2 of them were also military, which I just think is so awesome, in California. And then they retired in 2013 to Las Vegas to be with their both your sisters, right? Your sister, Teresita, and your sisters, Jose. And then in 2014, they were enlisted into St. Vincent de Paul. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thank you.
I'm going to start, I'll start by asking you what St. Vincent de Paul does here in Las Vegas.
Oh, St. Vincent de Paul, just like what you have said, we were recruited in 2014, and we didn't know what it was about, but we just realized that from the very start, we already knew it's to help some people, but we don't know with what. And being members now for about 7 years, we realized that it is for to help out those people financially, but most of all financially, for whatever they may be in need, to bring them closer to the church and knowing God more and what we have available for them in our parish. And we help them out with paying their utilities or their rent, and also helping them to get to know that there's a church that they can be a member of, a good spiritual family that they can join in.
Oh, that's really cool. So I was talking with you offline earlier about how for me as a kid, as a cradle Catholic, St. Vincent de Paul had the poor box in the parish where I was at in Detroit. And I thought you just put the money in and then the people who are in the society just kind of distribute it. But as I've been talking to the 2 of you, it's actually very, there's a lot of infrastructure
Right.
to actually giving the people who come to you the most assistance and the most appropriate assistance. Could you talk a little bit about how people find you? And then, you know, how you were saying how, and then you bring them into the family, which I love that you said that.
Well, they have this little spill in the bulletin, weekly bulletin, to notify everybody who may be in need, or maybe the parishioners itself. It's right here. That's
so
a part.
Oh, great. And so that's right. This is located at St. Joseph Husband of Mary Parish, which is kind of on the, I think it's on the western side of Las Vegas, right?
Okay, right.
And why are you based within a parish? Can you tell me more about that?
Okay, each parish actually can form their own St. Vincent de Paul conference.
Oh.
And with those parishioners in St. Joseph Husband of Mary, they formed it here in 2006 with about, I think I was told about 7 to 9 members. And then it's continued growing on. We reached up to 26 members at one time. And but right now we have 19 active members with 6 associate members who are able to contribute with whatever, but they don't need to attend the meeting regularly. So each we're still also looking for some parish who could form their own, because our resources will not be able to cover the whole valley to provide all the those who are needy in our in Las Vegas, for whatever they need they may have.
Okay, so that's certainly something we can pray for, is that more parishes form a St. Vincent de Paul conference. So it's worldwide. St. Vincent de Paul Society is worldwide. And now you're saying that actually it would be great to have it in a number of different parishes in Vegas. So would you sponsor? If you found another parish that was willing to do this, would you sponsor? Would you train? What would that look like?
Yeah, there is some formation that they need to do. We'll be able to provide some assistance. The sponsoring that you said is we call it twinning. Like we twin with them and provide them with whatever financial or other physical needs that they may have at the time, to be able to. They have to have the parish priest,
The pastor?
the
Yeah.
approval, and so they'll be able and have those group of people who are have that desire to help the poor, and that's how we could start off a conference in each parish.
So I know we touched on this, but St. Vincent de Paul helps, you said it again, they help the poor, and you talked about some of the things that you can do to help one of the poor families in the St. Joseph's Parish. Rent was one of the things that you said, right? So
Right.
if someone watching this video wanted to get in touch, they were in the boundaries of the St. Joseph Parish and wanted to get in touch, then they would look in the bulletin.
Yeah, look in the bulletin.
Yeah.
Actually, in the bulletin is the number of the parish, and then they can call and leave message.
Oh.
And Monday to Friday coming, we will answer those messages, because we do not answer right away. They have to leave messages,
Okay.
and then we answer them.
And if somebody watching this video is at another parish and they were thinking maybe they would like to sponsor something like this, would they also, it would be the same number?
The same number.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's the parish phone number for St. Vincent de Paul. It's not the parish office, but St. Vincent de Paul number that is there.
Awesome. So we'll make sure to put that contact information underneath this video, and maybe we'll find some other parishes who want to form.
We'll be
That'd
so
be
happy
really cool.
to support and help them.
Right now, we are the only, St. Joseph Husband of Mary is the only parish that has St. Vincent de Paul in the whole Valley of Las Vegas.
Oh my goodness, I am so glad that you touched on that. Have we always been the only one?
There was one before in
Boulder City.
at Boulder City, but that has closed down. Apparently, the members were not able to support it, and so that's why we're trying to get them back in working again, and to help those people who are all the parish to contact the pastors, so they'll be able to let us know what are those things that they may be of need.
So you work with both the pastors and the people who are interested in, and then you have the worldwide support. Were you telling me there's also a nationwide? There's like what is it called? The National
Council?
Council.
Yeah.
What's the interaction with the National Council like?
Well, they're the ones in charge of all the councils over the U.S. And in fact, in each country they have their own national council. And so with the U.S., we're also divided into the Western region, the Eastern region, the Central region.
And do they ever say, distribute the funding this way, or?
Well, they ask for assistance sometimes, but we don't need to. It has to be always voluntary with whatever way we'd like to use our resources.
Oh, cool. So your own council really has control over, because sometimes the need is so great locally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did they ask for assistance during the pandemic? National assistance?
They did, yes. And we helped. We sent out help.
So nice. And then, but then we had, there was quite a need in Las Vegas, wasn't there? Do you want to talk a little bit about how you had to change gears for a while, didn't you? Because the need in the diocese was really great during the pandemic.
Yeah, we sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
We had, well, during the pandemic, because of the lockdown, our normal procedure is to go out and visit, because that's our primary mission, is to bring Christ to those who are in need. And so visitation is it's very important
part.
for us to share that love God to them. So we had to stop it because of the lockdown. We don't want to infect them, to protect them, and also to protect all other members who might be
Yeah.
afraid that
Yeah.
they might expose themselves.
Yeah. So
So
the same concerns everybody was trying to juggle.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but it affected your ministry because thank you for bringing that up. This is a very personal face-to-face, and it's a ministry. It's really a ministry that meets people, within their homes, and you do an assessment, right? Like under normal times, you would have done it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So wow. So the pandemic changed all that,
Yeah.
and then
We had to, since we can no longer make home visit though, we used to be following the boundaries that is set up by the diocese for each parish.
uh-huh.
So we're just limiting ourselves because our resources, we're not able to provide for need of all the needies in the valley.
Mhm.
So we had to go, those are within our boundary of St. Joseph. That's the also reason why all parishes would be ideal to be able to
Yeah.
fund their own. So
It would be so great. Yeah, because then you could cover so much more ground.
yeah,
Yeah.
but since we don't need to make home visit, we're able to open up to the whole valley. Whoever calls us, we're able to assist them with some utilities, pretty much, or their phone, their
Oh.
electricity, water, and all that.
So during the pandemic, you changed your focus from like, okay, so no in-person assistance, and then you went and you actually, they would just call from wherever in the valley, and
Correct.
you'd say, would you say, or do you say, what's the most desperate need? Or do you kind of like get them in conversation and go, it sounds like you need help with,
Yeah.
like,
How can we help you?
oh, how can
That's
silly me. What a great question. I was trying to like, dance around it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we. In fact, we try to make sure that we are able to cover those, because some people may just too focus on one problem,
Yeah.
but another problem is causing their primary problem. So
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a very direct ministry. Straightforward. I love it. Okay, so I really appreciate learning more about the society. This is very exciting. I think there was something, because I feel like my parents were also thinking of being involved with St. Vincent de Paul. And it's, you send everybody out 2 by 2, don't you?
correct.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Well, just like what Jesus did, sent his disciples 2 by 2,
Absolutely.
and it's a protection for everybody, because we might be said some people might say, she did it to me, he did it to me, whatever. And there's two, they'll be able to confirm each other's what really happened.
Yeah.
So, and also to make sure that we're two heads is better than one, and we're able to cover more the scope of the need rather
Yeah.
than only one person.
So again, there's that sense of family that you were talking about. So yeah, let's get into that. And then I have I want to roll back to a different question, but like, so that's 2 or 3 times that you talked about St. Vincent de Paul being like a family. And then before we started this interview, you were telling me some of the things that you do as a group, because I was like, what are the social things? I didn't realize there was a social component. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Recently, we had our former president. They will leave Vegas and go to Washington. So I called everybody, and we we agreed to give them like a farewell get together.
Oh, I love it.
So we went to one of the restaurants in Sahara, and everybody went there. And that was the first time we saw each other for
Since
a year
Wow.
because of the pandemic.
yeah.
So we really enjoyed seeing each other in person, and we enjoyed the get together. And then also last week we had a get together for Father Roy, because Father Roy was our spiritual director for 4.5 years.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, so for people who don't know, who are listening to this interview, Father Roy, oh my goodness, I'm going to mess up his last name. Father Roy Kuria
Korea.
was the associate pastor, and that's not quite the correct title, but he was
Spiritual director of the St Vincent de
St.
Paul.
Vincent de Paul,
Or-
and he was pastor at St. Joseph, Husband of Mary. So
Correct.
again, there's just to clarify, there's this boundaries thing, which during the pandemic, the diocese was able to let's say, but usually a St. Vincent de Paul chapter works within the boundaries of its own parish, and that is set by the diocese, right? And that's set by the bishops of a given diocese anywhere. So if you were back in Hawaii, or if you were back in Korea, you would be doing St. Vincent de Paul there.
That's
And
correct.
it would be the boundaries of your diocese. And so all of that is going back to that order, which I love, because St. Vincent de Paul Society has been around for hundreds
A
of
long
years,
time,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just love how you really made it work for the people that you serve during the pandemic. So wow, you lost your president and your spiritual director all at the same time.
I know.
We're going to pray for that. Did you have a new spiritual director?
Right now, it's Deacon Vince.
Oh, excellent. So Deacon Vince is also at
Uh-huh.
St. Joseph Husband.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, that's nice.
What they do is they give annual retreats, and
Cool.
if they can, they attend our meeting, which
Uh-huh.
is now every second and fourth Monday of the month.
Wow. So there is what I'm learning is there's like and I don't know why this surprises me. It's just like the question, how can we help? But there's a very deep and direct and straightforward spiritual component to this ministry. Can you let's just talk about that a little bit, and then actually I think we're actually kind of rolling through my questions in a different order, but yeah, let's talk about the spiritual part of St. Vincent de Paul Society.
Okay, pretty much our primary purpose is for, just like what you said, the being a social, a group of parishioners. We try to get to know each other more, to know the kinks or the dislikes or the characters or the behavior of each one, and then learn how to appreciate each other. And in that way, we get to grow together and lovingly each other, correcting each other if there's any need, but to appreciate each other's differences. And then that our spirituality going out 2 by 2, it's like, well, for us, we're husband and wife, we already know each other.
Yeah.
But it's those other team, when they go out, they get to know each other more too. And then they share their spirituality to those people who are in need, and be able to bring the joy that they have, and the love of Christ and His mercy to those who are in need, and be able to see Jesus in those who are to the needy. Is in one way it helps us more to grow more closer to our Lord than those people who we are helping, because we are nourished also by the home visits that we make.
I love it. So basically you do all these spiritual activities like the retreats and the regular meetings, and you build the family among your membership. And that means that as soon as you're meeting people within your parish boundaries who might, have a need at the moment, that's the first thing, is that you're meeting them as family members also as part of your parish.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
beautiful. There was a question that occurred to me. Now
So-
oh yes, I know. I was just curious. Do people switch up who they go on visits with?
Yes.
They do.
Who always go or?
Those who are available at the same time, so they go together.
Okay.
And, Deacon Vince, I cannot forget what he said the first time he joined us during the meeting. He
Yeah.
said he felt an aura of like a family in the membership and the spirituality of the members.
I love
So
it.
that's what we're the first purpose of St. Vincent de Paul is to grow in his spirituality among members, and the second is to have fellowship, and the third is to help. So that's why most of the members of St. Vincent de Paul go to daily mass.
Yeah, I did notice that as well because sometimes like you have one of your meetings and it's like immediately after daily mass and then all of you come out. That's how I learned. That's how I learned that you two were members because I saw you at daily mass. Oh, that is so beautiful. There was something else that and of course you go two by two and you can't do the third thing, which is help others without, the other two components you were talking about. But then, I was just thinking about like your typical visits and the discretion and privacy, because that's also something that you train, right? Because you're reaching out and it is between family members. And so I know you're very protective of the people in the parish that you're helping.
Yeah, even to the members, when we discuss these cases that we go out on to see, we cannot use the whole name, with just the first name and the initial, or sometimes just refer to them by the case number, which is not so good. But, case numbers, we try to refer to them by the name, but we don't discuss any information out of, let's say, we have our son here living with us. We don't discuss it with him. And it just among members, active members, not even to the associate members.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's another way of protecting your family. That's a theme that's running through all this. I really love it. So I wanted to dial back, and this is a more personal question, but I did want to ask the two of you about each of your journeys. You know how I mentioned earlier, I was a cradle Catholic, and as a kid clearly didn't know very much about St. Vincent de Paul, and I'm learning now. But I'd love to hear from both of you about your Catholic journey. If you would take a few seconds with that, or a couple minutes.
I don't know about no, I know what how I heard the Catholic journey was. We both are actually cradle Catholics too, and my mom, I owe it to her that she made it made me from the very start know that the Sunday is special, and going to mass is one of those things that we need to really do. And when one time I was at mass and I was kind of distracted, not really paying attention to what was going on. And then she pinched my leg, and then what's going on? And then I heard the bell. Apparently, and then I looked at intently at what's going on in the mass, and it was the consecration, but I didn't know what it was, what really it was. So I said, must be something special going on during this ringing the bell and my mom pinching me on my leg. And I said, okay. From then on, I tried to be more attentive to what was going on during this consecration and what really is going on during the mass. And so then I even entered the seminary, but that was not for me. And then I met my wife. And I realized it's my vocation to bring up my family closer to our Lord.
Your vocation is to be a father, just like Saint Joseph. Were you named for Saint Joseph?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So excellent. Yeah, I love hearing your vocation stories. It's really great.
So I'm also a cradle Catholic, and I'd like to connect with St. Vincent de Paul with my faith. So when we were recruited to St. Vincent de Paul, honestly, the hardest part is the first year of being a member of St. Vincent de Paul. Okay. St. Vincent de Paul said, You have to see the face of Christ in in the people that you're visiting. But I found it very hard to do that because some people like uh, I pray, help me, Lord, to see your face in this visit, and I pray, and I am able to, but I was saying that, am I really a good member of this society? Because we are not supposed to judge, and it is very hard to do, not to judge when you see those, oh, he's lazy, he's like this, like that.
Oh,
So you are struggling within yourself. So I asked David, my second son, I was sharing my feeling, and he said, as long as you don't make it personal, is stay objective and focus on the issues. And that helped me a lot.
oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that. Because it's not always easy to be a person of faith. Like, we struggle with our own things, even though we want to do good and we want to see our Lord in everyone. And I really appreciate your, yeah, thank you. Well, let's see. We zipped through our questions. I hope you two are having as much fun as I am. I guess,
Good.
well, there's the one that we usually close with is, we invite you to tell us what you as a society would like us to pray for, or if you have a favorite society prayer, and then after that, I'll ask you what we can do, like what our community that we're recording this video for could do for you in the next few days or months to help your ministry. So shall we go on to the prayer, or do you want to answer that?
Yeah, we could go to the prayer. Our meetings are usually it's supposed to be every week, but since we have when we have our cases to discuss, we are now able to send it out to everybody by email.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's easier for us to exchange our notes towards one another and keep everybody in what do you call this, in connection to what was going on.
Yeah.
But during our meeting, just like what I have said earlier, that our focus is to bring our spirituality, to increase our spirituality and to get to know God better. And we almost about 25 or 30% of our meeting is on prayer.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have this
Out or before you talk about the cases.
Before and after.
Nice.
Yeah. And I would like to we'd like to share one of the prayers that we have for asking for the intercession of St Vincent de Paul, if you'd like to hear that.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. O glorious St Vincent, heavenly patron of all charitable associations and father of all who are in misery, while you were on earth, you never cast out any who came to you. Then, consider by what evils we are oppressed, and come to our assistance. Obtain from our Lord help for the poor, relief for the sick, consolation for the afflicted, protection for the abandoned, a spirit of generosity for the rich, the grace of conversion for sinners, zeal for priests, peace for the church, tranquility and order for all nations, and salvation for them all.
Yes, let all men prove the effects of your merciful intercession, so that being helped by you in the miseries of this life, we may be united with you in the life to come, where there will be no more grief, nor weeping, nor sorrow, but joy and gladness and everlasting happiness.
Amen. Yes.
Thank you so much for that prayer. That was really beautiful. It was beautiful to hear the two of you do it together. So we're winding down here. And my question to you is, what can we do in our community? Something concrete. And of course, we're going to pray. We're going to pray that more members join the St. Joseph Husband of Mary chapter now that things are opening up. We're going to pray that someone watching this video decides they want a chapter at their parish. and reaches out to you. And we're going to have all that contact information below. I love doing that.
I'm looking forward to your mom and dad.
Yeah, we'll pray that maybe my mom and dad can be convinced to join. I know they evaluate. I'll have to check in with them.
Okay.
And then, but what else could we do? I mean, say people want to make a donation. Should they donate to their parish? Should they donate to the box that they see in their parish? Should they reach out? Like, what's the best way to make a donation? And what else?
There's a collection envelope for each fifth Sunday of the month in the year, and usually about 3 to 5 fifth Sunday in each year, and that is devoted to St Vincent de Paul Society, and we get those assistants, and we'd like to send out to everyone that you're always welcome to join us in our ministries to have more knowledge of what we do and to be able to help out those who are in need. If you have that desire, I'm pretty sure everybody does, and there'll be and if you're able to help out too with their to help us be able to have that financial support we could give to those people in need, please do so, and you look up for your fifth Sunday envelope to be able to give us some financial help.
Okay, for those of us that are the generation that donate electronically, I didn't even know about the fifth Sunday envelope. Is there something that will remind us, or
there's an envelope that says St. Vincent de Paul.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I'd like to mention that the parishioners of St. Joseph, Husband of Mary, are very generous, and we are very thankful to them.
I love prayers of thanks. All right. I guess I feel like that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Any last thoughts? It's been so. Oh, I know what I wanted to say is that if people join this the St. Joseph, St. Vincent de Paul Society, then they become part of your family, which would be awesome. I think that would.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. And always looking forward to meet everybody and having new friends and new members to our conference.
Okay. Any last thoughts?
Well, we enjoyed talking to you and to share also what our St. Vincent de Paul does for our valley, for those people in need. And please do so. Contact us if you know anybody who may be in need. And also, if you would like to be, if you're the one who are in need, just give us a call. There's always check our bulletin, either physically or the one online.
I'll link to the bulletin. We'll link to the bulletin down there, and you've covered all the points I usually cover. So thank you, Teresita and Jose Ascierto. Really appreciate your meeting with us today. We are Mary's Visitation Prayer Group. My name is Ruth, and have a blessed, well, I guess people may not see this on Sunday, but have a blessed day.
Okay, you too. Take care.
Take
God
care.
bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.